Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to an amazing, wonderful, fantastic Thursday math torture session. It is here. It is the torture session that you've all been waiting for. So, if you are here live with me in the chat, please feel free to give me a big thumbs up. That's what I like to see. I love seeing the thumbs up so that I know that I have audio and that you can hear me loud and clear. So, give me that thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. So, good morning, everyone. So, what we're going to be doing today is, if you are here with me live, to listen, if you are also here with me on recording, okay, please hit that like button. That really does help us out over here at Prep Agent. So, we're gonna roll the year out with a bang, okay? This is the last live webinar for 2021. So I just wanted to let you know that. So if you do need anything or you're still studying throughout the rest of the week, okay, before the new year hits, what I want to tell you is this. Remember, we do offer private tutoring sessions, and there might still be some openings. So if you want to schedule yourself for a private tutoring session, now is the time. Get it in before the new year starts. Get your new year resolution started early. Schedule your sessions if you do want to plan on including that in your studies. Okay, so keep that in mind. And what I want to tell you is this. I am going to today do a little something like a smidge different. If there is any questions that I have from the peanut gallery, from anyone that is live with me, what I want to do is this. I want to make sure that I answer those to the best of my ability. So if you are here with me live, you do have a math question, feel free to type it in. Just remember, okay, some of you always ask, and this always comes up, and I'll probably repeat myself umpteen times. No Cali math, California. If you are one of my California folks, no, you do not have math. There's not going to be anything that's going to be here that would be of use to you. Curiosity? Sure, absolutely. If you want to, just kind of hear my voice and do math with me, I mean, sure, not a problem. Cali, no math. New York is extremely light on math. I think you get 2 math questions, and in regards to how I feel about them, I feel that they're pretty straightforward math questions. So I always kind of tell my New York people, this shouldn't be something that is a huge thing for you either. So let's get rocking. Let's get rolling. So like I said, if you do have any math questions for me, please remember to type that into the chat. I'd be more than happy to help you out. So if anyone asks about any other states, it's just the states that I had mentioned. If you are in one of the other states, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. You're going to have probably about 7 to 10 math questions, okay? You're going to have about 7 to 10 math questions on every other state, just so you know, FYI. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to take a look at a question that we have up on the screen. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to go through it, and we're going to go through it step by step. So also, please, what I'm going to do is this. So Jennifer said, I passed my exams last Thursday. Your math webinars were a huge help. Well, glad to hear that. And Jennifer also, too, I'm curious about this. If you are still in the chat, please let me know if my math problems were spot on, because I usually try to do things that I feel are relevant based on the information that I'm getting feedback from everybody. So please tell me if they were pretty relevant, if they were spot on with what you're usually seeing on the test. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a question. We take our time through the math, okay? Because it's all about the process. It's all about the process. So let's take a look at this first question, okay? Jennifer said they really were. So my math things, chef's kiss. Seems like they're spot on. So I really love that. So let's take a look at this first question. First question reads, home sells for $389,000. For tax purposes, the home is assessed at 43% to value. If the tax rate is 4.5 mils, what is the annual taxes? So for those of you who have been in my math webinars before, we have a little thing that we do. We always try to write some stuff down. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what I want to do is I want to ask you this. What is our first step? What is the first thing that we're going to be doing to try to help us solve for this problem? What is our first step? What is the first step that we are going to do to try to help us to solve for this problem? Anyone, don't all jump up at once, okay? Write out everything that you know. Absolutely. So, the first thing that we do, the very first thing, is I always like writing down, Midori typed it in there. Absolutely. What is the question asking you? So, we're looking for the annual taxes. What are the annual taxes? Okay? And here's the thing. If you start doing this, even if you could do this question right through, I don't want you doing that. I want you still getting used to doing your writing everything out, writing down everything that you know. So we know that the home sold for $389,000. Okay. Sale price. We know it was assessed at 43% of value. Okay. We also know that the tax rate is 4.5 mils. Now, let me ask this, okay? So Lolita said first time live webinar. Well, welcome to the Stu Crew. Welcome. I always love seeing newbies into the Stu Crew. If you have any questions, please do type it into the chat because I'm more than happy to try to answer them for you because I do keep my eyeballs on everything in the chat. So that being said, how do we figure out the annual taxes? Like, what is the arithmetic? What is the math that we are going to be doing? What do we do's with that? Well, how do we figure that out? How do we figure out how we find the annual taxes? Because that's what the question's asking us for, right? So what is the annual taxes? How would we be able to figure out what the annual taxes are? Anyone? Bueller? I'm having one of those days today. It's been a long day already. So let's take a look and see. What we do is this. So to find the annual taxes, right? Annual taxes equals the tax rate multiplied by the assessed value. So the tax rate multiplied by the assessed value, okay? So what I'm going to ask everyone is this. I'm going to ask you a simple question. You ready? What do we know in regards to this? What do we know? What information do we know? We know everything that we wrote down, right? Okay. So do we have the assessed value? Right? Do we have the assessed value? No. So someone put it into the chat already. Said, hey, we gotta figure out the assessed value. So the assessed value is going to be the assessed percentage multiplied by the sale price, right? So 389,000, we're gonna punch this into our calculator, times 0.43. Yeah, we don't have the assessed value, everybody. And 0.43 is the decimal representation of 43%. So, and what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to just increase the size of my screen so that you get a little better view, okay? Because we basically don't need the question anymore. This is just so everyone knows another good reason as to why I like writing this out. You don't have to go back into the question. Question gets wordy sometimes, confuses people. So with this situation, you do not have to go back into the question, okay? So that's the beautiful thing about that. Now, let's see. What do we get when we multiply 389,000 times 0.43? And remember, beware of the butterfingers, okay? It's a situation where you might run into a situation where you basically type in the wrong thing, okay? And that wouldn't be a good thing. So 167,270, if my math is correct, is going to be the assessed value. And always write stuff down. Writing stuff down is going to be your best friend, okay? Star Traveler said, hello, Stu, quick question. I'm taking an exam at a testing center because I thought you mentioned that was better than taking it online. Why is that? So not all states offer the online exam. The states that do, the reason why I don't recommend the online exam is because typically there's user It's not the best quality as far as the user experience. Okay, what do I mean by that? There's usually glitches. There's also it's much more strict as far as what you can and cannot do. You cannot mouth the questions out to yourself. You really can't take your eyes away from the screen. As comforting as it is to be at home, okay, it's something that it actually really does get you to a point where it's much more stressful, in my opinion, if your state offers that. So that's my opinion there as far as that's concerned, because that's a great question that comes up sometimes, and I just wanted to answer that for you. So now we have the assessed value. Boom. We're going to punch that right into the assessed value portion right here. Okay. So we know that. All right. Let's do deletey, erasey. Okay. 167,270. Now, do we know the tax rate? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, do we know the tax rate? Do we? Do we? Do we? Yes, no, maybe? Potentially could know the tax rate. Maybe we don't know the tax rate. I don't know. Do we know it? The tax rate is... Okay, so what is the tax rate? The tax rate is 4.5 mils. So, what is a mil? What is a mil? Like, how do I convert that? How do I put mil into my calculator? Okay? My calculator wants to know what a mil is. Okay? So, how do I tell my calculator what a mil is? What is that? Okay? So, the tax rate is 4.5 mils. So, to punch it into our calculator, we have to figure out what this is. Right? And someone said, yeah, it's 1 divided by 1,000 equals 1 mil. So 4 mils would be 4 divided by 1,000, but we're doing 4.5 mils. See? Even I have the butterfingers sometimes. 4.5 mils divided by 1,000. So what should that get us, okay, if we did this math? It should get us 0.0045. Okay? Now that we have 0.0045, guess what? We could plug it right into the tax rate, 0.0045. Now we could solve for annual taxes. How about that? Okay? So, let's go ahead and do that math, okay, where we figure out what the annual taxes are. So, we are going to do 0.0045 times 167,270, and do it a couple times so that you don't have the butterfingers, okay? And then you're going to get 752.72 is basically going to be the answer as far as what the annual taxes are as far as this question is concerned. So, let me just see this. Let me get a big thumbs up in the chat if you like that answer, if you figure that out, if you're like, oh, I gets that. Because here's the thing, what a lot of people get confused with in a question like that is what is a mil, how to calculate for mils. So usually you're going to see your tax rates written out in millage, okay? That's what they do. They say it's a mil rate or millage, okay? So what happens is you'll usually see it written as such. So let me see those thumbs up. Boom! Love it. Love seeing those thumbs up. Okay. And also keep in mind, I will take questions from the peanut gallery as far as if you do have any math questions, any math type questions, okay, that you might struggle in. So really, mils is only going to be for your tax rate. You're always going to see that in the tax rate, okay? As far as the... as far as millage, always divide it. Just always do the division in your calculator. Why? Because I leave no room for error. No room for error. Okay? So I don't really want to see you getting any kind of questions where you slip up with some arithmetic there. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it grooving. Okay? Let's look at this question. And you guys are going to be pros at this in a second. Okay? You're going to be pros at this because we're going to just be breezing through the millage questions. And I want you to just basically get yourself to a point where this is smooth sailing and you got this down. So that's why what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple of them just so that we understand the mechanics of it. So Question says a home was sold for $325,000. If the town assesses their homes at 65% to value for tax purposes, what would be the annual taxes if the town's tax rate was 4 mils? So listen to what I'm going to tell you. Just because we probably have a really good idea as to what type of question this is and how to do it, I still want you writing it down. Because if you learn this skill with things that come easy to you, the harder questions, it will be incredibly useful. So what are the annual taxes? Okay? That's what it's asking us for. Okay? What would be the annual taxes if the tax rate was 4 mils? Okay, based off all the information we have. So we also know that the home sale price was $325,000. Okay, we'll put sale price. Okay. Then it was assessed at 65%. Assessed. Then, okay, it was 4 mils for the tax rate. Now, someone asked me, do I round up? I typically round. The answer will dictate it, whether you round or don't round. You know, it should be obvious. It shouldn't be something that you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Am I rounding? Am I not rounding? It should be somewhat obvious. Like you shouldn't have an answer, just so you know. You shouldn't have an answer that's like, let's say like a dollar off from one another. Okay. Like you're going to have an answer that's very clearly, okay, that's the solution or that's not the solution. You know, it's not going to be a situation where, again, you're going to have things that are terribly close to one another. Does that make sense? Okay. So, Michelle said this webinar and others like this help me getting all the math questions right. Awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. That's what I love to hear. Congrats. So let's go through and do what we're going to do with this one. So first and foremost, we want to find the assessed value, because remember, that's what we were looking for. It's the assessed value multiplied by the tax rate. So 325,000, okay, times the assessed value, which is 65%, okay? So go ahead, let's punch that into our calculators, and I'll go along with you, and I'll punch it into my calculator as well, right? 325,000 times 0.65 is going to be an assessed value of $211,250, okay? And that's the assessed value. Now, how do I find the tax rate? How do I find the tax rate? Okay. So, tax rate, 4 mils. Okay, you ready? Is going to be 4 divided by 1,000. I always said punch that into your calculator if you could. Or it's going to be 0.004. So, our last step, final step, is going to be 0.004 times... Wait, there we go. 211,250. And that's going to be 0.004 times 211,250. 845. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit on that one so that you can see the process that I went through, so you could kind of pause it if you want to. Okay, rewind if you need to see the question. Okay, because I want you to make sure that you get this down. Okay, that you're comfortable with this. Okay, makes sense? So let me see in the chat. Do you have any questions for me on this? So Sherry said, hello everyone. I wanted to jump on and tell you everyone I passed Connecticut State and National. Yeah. Now it's time to interview with the brokers. Thank you, Stu. Your webinars help me so much with my math. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So congratulations and good luck on interviewing with brokers. There's a lot of great ones up in Connecticut. You have great pizza and a lot of really good brokers. So wish you a lot of luck with that. So that being said, any questions from the Peanut Gallery? Okay. So let's take a look at, let's do another question. Let's do one with discount points, because I think discount points is a big thing. Everyone always asks me about discount points, right? Always talk about this. So, a buyer is purchasing a home for $475,000. Okay. If they are approved for a loan with an LTV of 70%, what would they have to pay in points? Okay. What would they have to pay in points if the lender is requiring 3 discount points to be paid at closing? So, let's start doing this, and let's talk a little bit about, what was I going to say? Let's start going through the math here, and let's start seeing what we have. But we'll talk about what is a discount point. So as we're doing this, okay, and James reminded me, yeah, please do smash that like button for me. Please do that. And also remember, don't forget Joe and Cynthia. I know I'm the squeaky wheel. I am the squeaky wheel of the bunch, okay? But what I will tell you is this. I want to make sure that you're also taking care of them, because they work super duper hard throughout the year for all of us. So please make sure that you're hitting that like button for them, because that will help them out as well. So it's a team effort, a big team effort here. So that being said, okay, what is a discount point? Before I got side railed on begging, what is a discount point? Harumph. Okay, it's 1% of the loan. So a discount point is 1% of the loan equals 1 discount point. Okay. So, and it would help me if I didn't put the loan to. It's the loan equals 1 discount point. So that is 100% it. So 1% of the loan equals the discount point. Okay. Now, that being said, why would someone have to or want to pay discount points? What would be the reason they would have to and or want to? Let's just talk about that for a second, because I think it's important in understanding it as far as the context. So, the reason why borrowers pay, okay, discount points is because they're basically buying down. That's what the process is called. They're buying down the interest rate, okay? They're buying down the interest rate. So keep this in mind. This is not a down payment. So your loan is not going to be, the principal balance is not going to be 99%, okay, what it was before paying the discount point. Nay, this is a fee to lower the interest rate, a fee paid to the lender to lower the interest rate. So 1% of the loan equals 1 discount point. And we're looking for how much do they have to pay in discount points, right? How much do they have to pay in discount points? So let's write down what we know. It's a $475,000 purchase price. Ooh, kidoki. It is going to be 70% loan to value. Okay. Loan that they're approved for. They're going to be paying 3 discount points. So what happens is this. How we're going to figure this out is, so 1 discount point is 1%, so 3 discount points equals 3%, right? So 3% or 0.03 times the loan amount is going to give us the discount points. How much we have to pay. Okay. So let's take a look and see what we're going to do. So, how do we figure out the loan amount given the information? Okay. How do we know, okay, how do we know what the loan is? How are we going to figure this out? How are we going to figure that out? Let me know in the chat. So we know that it is a 70% loan to value. So let's talk about that, because loan to value, here's the thing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to tell you is this. Bottom line is, loan to value is something that you're going to see in many different capacities. This is going to be something that will haunt you, loan to value. Okay? Loan to value is basically this. They're saying, okay, and I'm going to write this down. The loan is blank percent of the value. That's what they're saying. They're saying the loan is blank percent of the value. So in this one, they're saying the loan is 70% of the value. So, to find a percent of a number, what we do is this. So, here's a little trick too, and I'm going to write this out because some of you know this, some of you don't. And listen to what I'm going to tell you. I go super slow because bottom line is I want you to see how methodical I am when it comes to the math questions. It's not about answering multiple questions. It's about getting the process down. So, what happens is this, and I'm also going to just be mentioning a lot of different things here because I think that there's a nugget that each one of you could pick up from all these webinars. So whenever you see of, we're multiplying, okay? Whenever you see per, it's dividing. So if you're looking for the percentage of a number, okay, you multiply. So the loan is blank percent of the value. Basically, what we're doing is we're doing 70% or 0.70 times the value of the property, which is going to be $475,000. Okay. And what is that going to be, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? 0.7 times 475. That's going to be a loan amount of, tell me if I'm right, $332,500 is the loan amount. Let me know in the peanut gallery if I'm correct in saying that. Okay, am I correct in saying that? $332,500. Perfect. Excellent. So now we know the loan amount. We're going to plug it right into here. Okay. So loan amount is going to be $332,500. So now we'll be able to figure out the discount points. Okay. We'll be able to figure out the discount points here. So let's do that. 332,500 times 0.03 equals $9,975. So let me know if you got that in the chat, okay? And here's what I'm going to tell you with the holiday, with everything coming up. It is super duper hectic over at the Stu household, as well as I'm sure everyone else's. And what I want to do is this. I want to wish everyone a safe, happy, wonderful holiday. Remind everyone that we are not going to be having webinars next week, okay? There will be no webinars next week. We're going to be taking a break from doing the live webinars, okay? But you could always watch replays. So if you need a little bit of me in your life, you could go back, watch some things on replay. We are going to be doing a lot of different things in the new year, so keep an eye peeled if you're studying, crossing over from 2021 into 2022. A lot of great things there. So what I want to just remind everyone is this. If you do want to schedule private tutoring sessions, you just click on more in the upper right-hand corner of your prep agent site. Go to private tutoring, and you'll be able to schedule a session right there with Cynthia or myself. You just click schedule session, and I think that this upcoming week, I do still have some availability this week. So if you wanted to schedule something between now and 2022, I have availability. So feel free to go ahead and schedule something if you do need that. If not, again, I wish you all a safe, happy and healthy new year, and hopefully everyone becomes a real estate agent in the new year. I will see everyone real soon.